Hello, all. Hi. I know. Happy Pride. Happy Twitch Pride. Happy everything. I brought supplies because we're going to be here for a minute. I brought some lovely, like, trail mix, and I brought water. Yes, I'm excited about some sort of horror world. What is it? Yes. Thank Of course. Of course. Of course.
Of course I'm muted.
You're muted
I was. No
the whole
longer.
time?
Yes. We're good. We're good. At least it was only a minute.
You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone. I'm Charity Goblin Ruby, the Charity Goblin here on Twitch, and we are streaming for the Trevor Project and for charity to support to support trans folks. How's it going, Mom? It's nice to have you back on my stream.
Thank you very much, Ruby. Happy to be here. Hi, everyone. JLC in the house with nuts and water to help me through the afternoon of twitching. Or
Absolutely.
is
And
that what you call it, Ruby? Do you call it twitching?
streaming.
Streaming. Well,
Yeah,
we're also supporting Stream for a Cause, which is another great organization and one that Ruby is an ambassador for. So
exactly.
we're here with Pride. I'm here with maternal pride and also just sort of communal pride for the community and the beautiful message of love and inclusion.
Exactly. That's the entire goal of today's stream and so many other streams. You know,
And we're
we,
going to have a
we
couple of great guest stars too.
oh yeah, we have
Zach
some
Chang and Jake Wesley Rogers are going to be here at some point. Jake, I think, is coming in. No, Zach is coming in soonish.
first. Yeah,
Yes,
soonish.
in about 10 minutes. So, Ruby, how did you start streaming, VTubing,
Well, I started streaming,
Rubying?
but I started streaming at my first job. Remember? It was I started streaming for a company called Leet Lounge Live, who was a 24-hour streaming company at the during the early days of Twitch. That became Twin
What drew you
Galaxies
to it?
Live, and that became holy crap.
What drew you to it?
Um, thank you so much for the $100 donation. Um,
Okay, by the way, let's just stop. Every time somebody donates some money, this is the beauty of this. We're coming together as a community, celebrating Pride on Ruby's stream
hell yeah.
in association with Twitch, supporting the Trevor Project and Stream for a Cause. And look at how you showed up already. That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. This one. Yeah, it's always so exciting to have people donate and subscribe to this because no matter what, it's going to charity. I donate all of my income from Twitch to charity.
And
Uh,
that's what I think is really unique and special about what you do, Ruby, is that you've dedicated your love for streaming and decided to make it a completely charitable endeavor so that you're not trying to make money off it. You're trying to raise money to help other people.
exactly, and
Oh,
it's what I try to do. I try to help anyone I can. I
I
try to
know.
help the little guy. I try to help. I heck, we're thinking about doing a stream later this year to help veterans in need of assistance.
Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful. As you know, I would support that and join you in a nanosecond.
Ooh, I'll keep that in mind because that is actually something.
Well, you've got my number.
I know I do. Alrighty. But yes, this pride is very important because more people are in danger than most other years, and unfortunately, it's coming out in full force. But we are too, and we want to keep people safe, and we want to make sure that they are proud to be themselves.
Well, that's the whole goal, right? It's the love and community, not the division and the hatred. It's
Exactly.
about love and inclusion and just the fundamental right to be who you are, which is
Right?
beautiful. I know, but it's obviously the forces marshaled against that very specific fundamental human right are very loud. Um, uh, their loudness is with our proudness. You know, they're being very loud and disruptive, and we have to just stand united in community, in solidarity with each other to protect those who are under attack.
Agreed. And for all of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters out there, and everything in between.
And I was going to say, and others, brothers and sisters and others, and
And
you know,
and heck, even if you're not part of the LGBTQ, if you support us, then thank you. All the support matters, and and everything comes together to help one another. Everyone does.
well, and that's what we're doing here today.
Exactly. We're bringing people from everywhere to, you know, just be people together. And
Right. And it's unusual for you and me to do something this public and out into the world in such a way, into a portal of people. And the reason why not to do it is because you're going to get inundated with a lot of negativity and hostility and hatred, really. And the reason to do it is to counteract that possibility with love, kindness, community. And it's unusual that you and I would do something like this. And I'm really happy to be here in such a safe and beautiful community of people joining us. And obviously, through all of the stuff, people can ask questions and whatever information gets fueled to Ruby. I don't read anything because that's my secret.
Yeah.
I don't read anything.
And our mods will send us some interesting questions if any come up.
Assuming that'll happen to me in some sort of chat. Is that correct?
I will be getting out my Discord on my other monitor. So
Oh, okay. Look what I can do. I just figured out. Watch this. Sorry. I mean, it's just, I clapped once in some sort of Zoom where I went this with a heart, and all of a sudden a heart came out of my computer, and I thought I was a magician.
God. I love you, Mom, and I'm so happy to be doing another one of these events with you, and we try our best to give all we can to all the people that need it. And during Pride, well, we sure as hell need it. So we're doing our best, and all of this is going to the Trevor Project and to Stream for a Cause, and we want you to know that no matter what happens, we are doing our best to keep everything going.
Ruby, what are in show business, everybody says, "Who are you wearing?" I love your outfit.
I am wearing Eldritch Seamstress. The dress was actually crafted for me by another VTuber who is also a fashion designer.
Well, very, very attractive. I'm sorry, I'm just in basic Navy, but maybe next time I'll dress up a bit.
Right? Anyway, next time Maybe we'll get you a VTuber model for next year.
Ooh, yes. And would your friend help me design an outfit?
Oh, yeah, we could commission her to come up with an outfit. I'm
Yes.
sure she'll be flabbergasted.
Look at me sending my messages in my emojis. I'm so excited by it. I wish there were more.
I mean, there are on Twitch. I'm sure we could get emotes in chat if we wanted.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to drink some water.
I appreciate it.
I did dress up by putting up my pride flag today.
Oh yeah, it
I
looks
usually
wonderful, and it's there for what we exactly stand for.
Yes, I know. And this is not the first time you and I have done a stream
Nope.
to support the Trevor Project and Stream for a Cause. We've done a few. We did a Halloween one year.
Yep. We did a Halloween one. We did one for Stream for a Cause, what, a few months back?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we love doing these streams because we know we're supporting good people. And we know
Yes.
exactly where the money's going.
And it's fun when we get to have new friends come on. Like I'm excited to meet Zach today. And so I feel like we're expanding the conversation. It's the beautiful thing about Twitch is that it reaches so far around the world. There are people probably watching this all over the world. And that's really, really exciting to see how the technology can actually bring us into community, even though we're far, far away from each other.
Right? It just seems crazy that I can stream from Goblin Island and you can stream from California, and everyone around the world and everyone in between can see us and hear our message.
And meet our friends and our guests. And yeah, no, it's beautiful.
I think so too. Anyway,
do you have an agenda for today besides our guests?
So yes, we have two guests coming on, which is Zach Sang, who is a host on Amazon Music, and we have Jake Wesley Rogers.
I know, I'm a Monster fan.
Oh, are you? Oh, this is going to be fun then. And then after all that, I'm going to introduce you to some of the other VTubers with help from my assistant Jade, and we're going to put them into horror categories. Like, are you the ditzy blonde who gets killed early on? Are you the final girl? Are you the killer? Who knows?
Well,
there was a reason.
I think we know the answer to that question.
Of course, but you're going to be placing them just from the little bits of information we can give you. We have a whole slideshow prepared for that.
Anyway. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Great.
Alrighty. I do have a question. Would you say that are you an ally, or are you just, are you part of the LGBTQ?
Well, I'm a trans mom. I'm a ally. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Am I an ally? I am straight. That is, it could does LGBTQ plus IA, is there an S there for straight people too?
Well, straights are allies, so they're included in the plus, because the plus is everything in between.
Okay, well, I'm definitely plus.
Yep.
I'm a devoted ally because I believe in equality for all.
I need to get you an allied pride flag.
I'm sorry?
I need to get you an allied pride flag.
Well, that's a good pride flag.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
but yes, of course I need to have an allied pride, but of course I am. Look, you're my daughter, and I've
how's it going, Sydney?
I don't think it's going to be Sydney. I think it's going to be our guest. I believe it's Zach.
Ooh.
I think somebody just popped on our screen.
Yeah.
I'm new at this, so. But
I am
now
too.
can
I
do
don't
an
usually
emoji
use
for
Google
it.
Meet.
Wait.
I usually use Discord. But
Okay, here's my shock emoji of like, wow, something just happened.
I'm excited. Anyway, but yes, they're muted, so I cannot hear them.
Yes, but they're not on our screen yet.
They are on mine.
Yes, but I don't think
I know what you mean.
I think Zach is just about to show up. I bet any minute.
I bet too.
I'm very excited.
Zangerhang live. Hell yeah! Thank you for the $100.
Who was that?
Zangerhang. I'm guessing. Honestly, that reminds me of one of my old bosses I used to work with, which was Jen Zhang, who actually went by that name for a while.
I know, and Jennifer, and maybe that is her.
Yeah, it's possible.
And Jennifer, I've joined Jennifer on one of her projects as an executive producer because she's such a talented filmmaker. That's the other beautiful part of this alliance and about this community is that we've all known each other for a long time. We've all watched each other grow, and none of the LGBTQ plus IAS community thrives without a long-standing support network of people who we work with and then we want to collaborate with on other projects. And I think that's what's so crucial, particularly in the month of Pride, is to remember nobody does this by themselves. It is a group effort. We're joining together in Pride, but we're doing so that we can help other people. That's what the purpose of this charity stream is. We're connecting to other people, and by connecting to other people, and if you make a donation, which we've had already a couple $100 donations, that money is going to go and help the kids at the Trevor Project who feel very much alone, but the Trevor Project is saying, come to us, we will protect you. And I think that's the beautiful part, Ruby, that's very much the beautiful part of what you do with your stream every day. You're diligent and very professional about it.
Oh, yeah.
And thrilling for me as your mom to watch you do it.
And we got a lot of fun streams coming up this week too. So
for those who are going to subscribe to the channel, you're going to play a lot of fun games and do a lot of fun things.
And we're going to have more interviews later this week, and another Pride event at the end of the month. So
yes. And on Friday, we're doing another stream together. I will tell all of our watchers, as I was waiting, because, these timed things are very intense. Oh,
there's
Zach, you're here.
Howdy.
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy,
I was just
welcome.
explaining to everyone that I spent my 20 minutes of free time cleaning my computer with Q-tips.
That is so healthy.
I know. I felt it was a little OCD, but it was also just, I had 10 minutes here. Hi, welcome, Zhang.
By the way, that's how an artist prepares to stream, right, Ruby?
Does someone ever call you Zhang?
No.
You know what? Weirdly, yes, many people called me Zhang for many years, and then I actually had an online radio station when I was a kid, and we called it Zhang Radio. So yeah, very common.
Awesome.
I just called you Zhang, and I didn't know that.
You can call me whatever you want. You're Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't give a shit. Sorry, no cursing, right? You literally can do whatever you want.
You're good. Just keep it to a minimum.
You got it. By the way, can you explain to me the story about how you found your avatar? How you even found VTubing to begin with?
My avatar is actually an old D&D character I used to play. By the name of Ruby Nombi. And she's a goblin. She's a goblin warlock whose patron granted her, her wings and the ability to go Super Saiyan.
Interesting.
Okay, wow. I'm going to send some emojis for that because that was a little shocking.
Right?
By the way, Zach, I've just learned that I can click on things and things will happen.
Well, is this genuinely your first time streaming ever? This is...
No.
No, on Twitch it is on
Got it.
a bigger format. I've been on Ruby's streams. We've done a bunch of streams, but to do a scheduled kind of big ticket front page
Event.
event, but
Yeah,
it's Pride, so you suit up and you show up, right?
Exactly.
The tavern's on full display today.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the tavern is on full display, and by the way, it's rocking here at the tavern. It's very clean because someone got her OCD chip going and started,
God,
and
I wish
then
my
it's
text-to-speech
really
bot was
interesting
working because
it's interesting to figure out which key is the dirtiest. So
Oh,
I would throw
What?
out to the chat, which key on your keyboard is the dirtiest?
W for me.
I can look right now. I actually my S is really dirty. My S literally has a stain on it.
Your S is stained. For
Yeah.
weirdly enough, my delete key. So I must delete a lot. Anyway, hi Zach. Is that
Hi.
a troll doll?
It is. You want to take a look? I got some. Yeah. And by the way, this is what I
Zach.
got. I got a troll doll. I got a baby Zane.
Nice.
I don't even know what Zane is.
Oh, from One Direction.
Oh,
Zayn Malik.
thank you so much for the raid,
Oh.
CB.
Which band is One Direction?
Oh, One Direction was one of the greatest boy groups to ever exist.
Sorry.
They were formed on X Factor.
Okay.
You don't know?
She doesn't
don't.
remember. It was me during high school.
Nah.
One
No,
Direction.
no, no.
Who is a singer?
Harry Styles, Niall
Oh yeah.
Horan.
Oh no. But he went off and became a solo guy.
Yes, they've all gone on to do their own thing, but One Direction lives in our hearts forever.
Of course.
Okay, but hello. Some of us are near death and way older than you people. So maybe One Direction. I remember Menudo. I mean, that's a boy band.
Okay.
It was like before you were born, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I was born in '93. They were probably big, like early '90s,
about-
right?
Think.
Oh yeah, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. By the way, they all walked so One Direction could run,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
very fair.
Oh,
Like,
that's
exactly.
that's a nice. But can we just discuss troll dolls for a second?
Sure.
Okay.
My entire childhood, my memory of childhood was making troll doll houses and having troll doll families. I had a whole troll doll collection. There's something so weird and beautiful about trolls. And I'm so happy to see a troll doll. You've put a big smile on my face.
Did you see the
Isn't it
movies?
like
Did I see the movie? No, because it's animated.
and is it weird that you can see a human in this thing that is so not human? Like
Yes,
you really
that's-
like
Yeah.
And the little hands that were like this always, they never moved, nothing moved. I love them so much. I used to make them clothes because you can really make really simple clothing for a troll doll.
You used to give them for Christmas too as stocking
did.
stuffers.
oh, that's
Sorry,
genius.
I do
Right?
love a troll doll.
Can we talk for a second about can we compare childhoods for a second between yours and Ruby? Like there's very different, yet I feel like there could be some similarities. Yes? Like
Absolutely.
when
Okay,
did you first
so
start
Ruby,
streaming?
Similarity.
Yeah, I want to know when did you first start streaming and then when did you start building alternate universes? Was it through D&D?
So I started streaming when I was 16, but I've been playing D&D since I was 14. I just became really attached to this character.
Did you know it was that character from the very beginning, or did you go through other characters before you found her?
So as I played D&D more recently, I would say in the past 6 years, I played this character in a D&D campaign, and I grew so attached to her that when I transitioned, I chose her name to be my name.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool.
The truth is, I had an analog childhood. Ruby had a digital childhood.
Totally.
Ruby ruptured her spleen when she was 5 years old,
Mhm.
6 at school, and we went to obviously an emergency room, and it so happened that we were at the Children's Hospital at UCLA and the Mattel Children's Hospital, and they had a gaming machine that
it was a wheeled-in N64.
I've
it
seen
was a
those.
wheeled-in N64 in this case. But here's what was amazing was you know, Ruby, obviously we were all a little traumatized. Ruby was in pain, and it was the middle of the night, and we went into this emergency, you know, trauma room, and they wheeled in this N64, and Ruby's eyes kind of bugged out, and
Because we only had one in Idaho, and you wouldn't even let me play it because it was Annie, or my sister.
It was my elder daughter's gaming machine, and when her eyes lit up, and she said, "Do I get to play it?" The nurse said, "Yes, one more needle, and then you get to play." And that gave the impetus to sort of get through the pain of getting a IV put in. But then here's the coolest thing. The nurses, they have to immobilize your hand. If you have a hand IV, they have to immobilize your hand. But in order to play the game, what they did is they put a piece of like wood here, but they did it here so that she could still operate. Yep. And I'm telling you, from that day on, I think a Game Boy showed up like the day she got out of the hospital. And this is a kid.
3 days before.
That's amazing.
This is a kid who has been a digital human since digital gameplay was involved, and I was totally analog.
Well, because it means something totally different. Like it entered into your life at a moment where like it's now like it's forever associated with this idea of like this is something that helps you get through something of pain. It allows you to escape whatever shit you're going through, whatever that may be. Like it entered in at this moment that is so actually beautiful, right? Like it gives you hope that like no matter how bad things get, you can go to this.
I mean, it's better than painkillers.
Yeah.
Something. So did Barbie.
Yeah, real.
Like Barbie got us through. Troll dolls got me through. If I was sick or hurt, that was my version of a Game Boy, was a Barbie or a troll doll. So the analog experience, it's still the same transference of kind of leaving me going into something. There's still gameplay, there's still make-believe play. I mean, Barbie, my goodness, just imagine all the scenarios we put Barbie dolls through. And so I feel like our childhoods were very different, and yet I fully leaned into the digital childhood because Ruby clearly from a very, very early age was really drawn to it. Like really, really drawn to it. And, you know, we tried and did all of the balancing act as parents of like, remember the egg timers?
Fuck off. Sorry. Fuck off. We're not telling that story on stream.
I am telling that story.
Refuse.
I need to know.
Okay. So we used to you used to give a certain amount of, you know, I'm very rule oriented. I'm like very strict. And so obviously we wanted to encourage Ruby to have, you know, she would go to school and work very hard and have homework after school, blah, blah, blah. But then there was always a designated amount of screen time. And, you know, you time it. You time it. And obviously there's always the give and take of if there's this much reading time, there's this much screen time, and whatever the you know, combination that every individual family does. But so we would say, you know, there's an hour of screen time. But I found that using egg timers for the last 10 minutes would give her a sense that you have 10 minutes more. And so, although it never was easy, it's never easy if you're in the middle of something.
Now I'm traumatized to the sound of egg timers going off. I'm not kidding.
The counting down of just this thing moving.
So we would do an egg timer, and you know, all that was fine. So Ruby grew up, and she grew up just fine. And you know, all of that balancing act as parents, as I'm sure anybody who's a parent watching the stream, they're nodding their heads. They understand that it's a dance between an academic load and a gaming mode, and you know, analog life and a digital life. And so all of it was great. Ruby turned out great. Ruby's fine. And at one point,
it's good to know that I'm fine.
And at one point, somebody who worked for us, who was like a garden, you know, somebody who helped us in the garden, came to my front door, and the door knocked, and I opened the door, and it was a man named Hippolito. and he held out his hands, and in his hands were 2 egg timers that he had found in the garden that clearly
Fuck off.
Ruby had thrown out the window from her room, which was on the 2nd story, and had thrown them into the garden.
I like
And
how
it was
this is supposed to be
beautiful.
my stream, and you're just telling the most embarrassing stories on my stream to my
But
biggest
that's
audience yet.
The beautiful part of your digital life,
Oh,
sweetheart.
screw off.
Hey,
Well-
it's a part of the process. It got you here. It was
Yeah.
you defying those egg timers that really led to this moment. I don't know. I by the way, also like could reestablish your relationship with egg timers and also time by taking control of it and chucking it out your window. Respect.
Fair.
A lot of respect. A question: how did you guys get introduced to the Trevor Project? Because that is really, I mean, that's the reason why we stream. And I got to say, kudos to you, Ruby, for 100% of the money you make here on Twitch goes to the Trevor Project, and it goes to charity, right?
Well, the donations go to the Trevor Project. The subscriptions go to a different charity called Stream for a Cause, which focuses on grassroots charities. But yes, most of the money here goes to the Trevor Project.
Amazing. Do you remember your first introduction to the Trevor Project?
I actually, when I decided to be a charity streamer, I put out feelers on Twitter about charities I should donate to, and I got
Like people do.
50 recommendations, and it's like, all right, the Trevor Project seems the most legit out of all of them.
Yeah.
So
Very real. And by the way, the Trevor Project does a lot of great work. They create a lot of safe spaces for LGBTQIA youth, phone lines, text lines, anything you can possibly need as just a member of the queer community, just looking to survive and come up and evolve as a human being. They are there for you no matter what. So please donate. Please give what you can. It's
yes.
no pressure, but it really is a special, special thing.
If you have the money, please donate. If not, don't worry about
Just
it.
watch. Yeah, but by the way, I do got to say, like, even just watching goes into your account, like all the ads around it. So it does end up going to a good home. So even if you don't donate, by viewing and chatting and spending time on this
it's so
screen,
good.
it's going to something better.
For me, Zach, beautiful about it is community. It just comes back to community every time. That in this world today, which feels very scattered and it's scary out there, what's beautiful is that community makes you feel safe. And the Trevor Project has just been, I mean, an extraordinary safe haven for people
Absolutely.
to find community. And so I you know, obviously I'm very proud that Ruby has chosen the Trevor Project specifically. And, you know, we also try to have a good time and, you know, there's a lot of laughs, as you can tell, and we're in a funny family. My husband's a funny guy, and Ruby loves her dad, and I don't think there's anybody who can make Ruby laugh harder than Christopher Guest.
I do want to say one thing. Zach, me and you have the same sitting position.
With a leg up?
Yep. Exactly.
Dude. Yes.
Ow.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, join. Yes.
The
And then you
wrong
can
way, whatever.
I like that. See? It's giving thought. It's giving like also could be up at any moment ready to move, you know? It's giving comfort.
We call this bisexual sitting.
Interesting.
I better stop. Okay. Sorry. Next thing I know, you know, sorry. I just, you know, straight as they come, as they say. And I don't mean that as, you know, excuse the pun. Whatever.
You know, they do say like everybody is a little gay, you know,
Yeah.
and in some cases that's true, and in some cases it could totally be not true. So, and in the case of Jamie Lee Curtis, not true.
Not true. Straight.
true.
But I have a lot of gay friends.
You do quote, by the way, I love that line.
Yeah, it's a great line.
I also love that you asked your mom if she was an ally or identifies as queer. I respect that. I like that you were just taking the temperature of the day because it could change.
Yeah.
Well, of course it could change. Unlikely, but you know.
You can realize you're bi one day. Who knows?
You never know. You never know. That's
you know,
I
but
mean,
I'm
how it
sober
works.
for a long time, and we have a phrase in sobriety that says more will be revealed. So more will be revealed. Who knows?
Dot. Wait, you
Please.
quote often, life hinges on a couple of seconds that you never see coming.
Hmm?
Does that quote apply at all to you and Ruby's relationship, and how does it apply?
So the just for the uninitiated, there's a book named called Special Topics in Calamity Physics. It's a novel written by Marisha Pessel.
Yes.
And it's a really good novel about a father and a daughter. And in the middle of this book, it talks about how we all think our life is supposed to sort of evolve, and we are all programmed to think that it's based on, first of all, who you were born into and like how much money you're going to earn in your first job and where you go to college and who you're going to marry. And is that going to determine your life? And we all follow this path that is supposed to be this thing. And what she writes in this book is, it isn't. And I quote, she says, life hinges on a couple seconds you never see coming. And what you do in those seconds determines everything from then on. And you won't know what you're going to do until you're there, which means, how do you then go through life? If your life is going to hinge, a hinge is a pivot, right? A hinge is an opening. It hinges open, and it's going to open to things that you never saw coming. How do you live a life with meaning? And so for me, that's been the sort of cornerstone of my life. If I look back on my entirety of my personal, professional, spiritual, sobrietal life, is life hinged on a couple seconds I never saw coming. How that applies to a relationship with a child, I never saw Ruby coming. I didn't know,
That's a good thing.
I didn't know Ruby was going to pivot my life the way Ruby did. I think children do that by nature, Zach. I think you may have an idea of who they are. And I think many of us, certainly people my age, felt like their parents didn't really know who they were. And just sort of, as long as you went along with the program, then you were a good girl. But you see, Ruby pivoted us very early on, and, obviously hinged our lives wide open in a beautiful way. Ruby?
Exactly. I tried getting into baseball. I tried getting into soccer. I didn't know. I didn't care for running. I didn't care for sports. Still rock climb occasionally, but anyway, when I found gaming, I stuck to it, and it's been my thing from when I could first remember to now, and I just wanted to find a way to help people through gaming. So,
Why do you like rock climbing?
Because you're not on a team.
Yeah, interesting.
It's just you. It was just me and my climbing instructor, and it was just our, and so yeah. And plus,
Isn't it
it's
an adrenaline
nice to
thing?
be up there. Huh?
Is it like an adrenaline thing?
No, surprisingly not. It's actually more relaxing, especially being able to get up and away from everything else.
When Ruby was young and she was doing this,
It was
What-
exciting.
what is that super swing thing
Oh,
called? Ruby?
the king swing that they had. Basically, they hung a rope from the middle of the gym, and they would have you climb up one of the walls, attach yourself to the rope, and then swing across the gym.
Oh no, that's
But
crazy.
but
Harnessed,
I mean,
obviously.
40 feet up and across a large expanse, and all of the other kids who would go up there with an instructor, you could see they were really nervous about it. Like they would get up there, they'd be on this perch, and then they'd say, okay, let go and do the big swing. And, they would do it, but they would do it with a lot of fear. Ruby would get up there and be like, and then Norm would say, okay, let go. And
Yeah.
then Ruby would just let go. And it was beautiful to watch. It was really a fearless freedom that clearly being up there gave her some sense of freedom and safety.
Crazy that like being up there and being so off the ground gave you such a sense of grounded safetyness. It's really cool. Very interesting. Like there's deeper meaning to all this stuff,
Oh,
you know?
of course.
Like if you really want to peel back the onion that deep, like there's a reason why you feel comfortable and safe in that situation. And this, it's just, God,
What
I
about
really could talk to you guys for hours.
Zach? What about
Huh?
you? Who are you? Like,
Oh, who
tell us about you.
I mean, I interview people for a living. I like talk to
Where were you raised?
musicians. I was raised in New Jersey. I was raised in Wayne. I was born in Patterson, grew up there for the first few years, and then I grew up in Wayne, New Jersey. So like 25, 30 minutes outside of Manhattan. And yeah, my mom's a social worker. My dad sold furniture. Then my stepmom was a teacher. And when I was 14, I started an internet radio show for my bedroom. And
yes, you did. What was it called?
It was called, at the time, it was called WZAP Radio, but then would be named after me after a bunch of years. And yeah, I talk to people. Like I spent 10 years on the radio, like talking to hundreds of people from all different parts of the country every single night. Like I feed off of conversation. I feed off of connectivity and just also understanding that there's something deeper to everything. Like everything that we know and we love, there's a reason as to why we got there, you know?
And what is your connection to Twitch and to the Trevor Project?
Honestly, I know the Trevor Project through the work that they do. I want to get more involved with the Trevor Project due to the work that they do. But I work with Amazon. So my show is partnered here. I work with Amazon Music. I work with Prime Video. And I was doing a show on Twitch. Yeah, on the Amazon Music Twitch channel for a while. But you can, like, you probably will see us on TikTok now that I'm speaking. If I don't know, are you on TikTok, Jamie Lee Curtis?
I'm on it. I will be on it a lot when Freakier Friday comes out because I will be with ag girls who are going to be very vocal on the Tickety Talk. I was with Lindsay Lohan one day and we were in a car and she said, let's do that. What was that thing that people did on Tickety Talk? Something about demure and something.
Yeah, very demure, very cutesy.
Right. So we were literally shooting a scene in a car. We pulled up to a stop sign. They had said to us, you've got like a minute before we're going to go. They were doing something with the camera. And we were sitting in the car and she goes, let's do that thing. All right. I'm going to say, I'm very what? And then you say something and then I'm going to turn it to me. And we did it like literally, she said, okay, I'm rolling. Say whatever what was it? Very cute. No,
very cutesy. Very demure.
Wasn't very cutesy, very demure. Oh no, she said very cutesy, and then she turned it to me and said, I said very demure. And then that went up into the Tickety Talk like within a second. And then it went
viral. Of course.
But I know, but so for me, oh, did you just do this? That's so cute. Isn't that the whole thing? Look. Yeah, look at us. I don't think you can do that.
I can't. I don't have hand tracking yet.
I know. You will.
But I will? Okay.
You got to believe. Manifest it. Also, Twitch is on the line. Hello.
But so in that world, I'm not an active. I'm very active on Instagram because I invented it. Yeah. But I am not active on the Tickety Talk. But I will participate on it a bit during the Freakier Friday.
I was like, are you ready to you promoted countless movies, but this will be one that is like geared towards a younger demo that is going to be utilizing every new media stream possible to get there. Like it's different today than ever before, right?
Oh, we have an entire day scheduled, one entire day
just for TikTok,
digital. Tickety-talkety, other worlds that I will do. And I will participate. I'm just not active. The most social media I like to do is Instagram, which I do very well. The rest of it, I dabble in. Ruby, for instance, is, very obviously, Ruby has a stream. How often do you stream, Ruby?
I stream 5 days. Well, 4 days a week on my channel and a 5th day on a friend's channel.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing. Like you're doing everything it takes to be that Twitch streamer. Like people always go like, oh, I think I should stream, or I think I'd be a good streamer. No, like the way you stream is dedication and consistency. That is 100% it.
That's what I
Like,
tell
Ruby,
people,
you're
and
right.
no one believes me. Consistency is key, especially when it comes to streaming.
Send that message to my boyfriend. My boyfriend wants to get streaming and he really is good at it. But I'm like, dude, you just got to do it. Like the only way to figure it out is by actually doing it and riding and seeing it where it flows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, Ruby does it every day for many, many hours a day and produces these streams. It's obviously a lot. I mean, I've gone on a couple times. As I showed you, I brought nuts and water because I was going to be, this is to me like we're going camping. Like, I'm going to be locked in a room for many hours, and I have a dog.
I have water and Hull's cough drops because, to make sure I can get to the
I just am. So I want to know more about you, Zach.
I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
Big or small, doesn't matter. Who is your favorite LGBTQ person that you've interviewed?
Oh, that's a really good question. Kim Petras is definitely on the list, and somebody who comes to mind just because of the fact that Kim Petras is a trailblazer for a bunch of different reasons, and nobody fully understands that really. Like Kim Petras was like really, really helping define what like trans rights as it relates to kids meant, and like what that all meant over in Germany, and then would go on to like shine such a honest, beautiful light on what it meant to be trans, but not defined by being trans. And that's she's amazing. Like she's forever the moment and an icon. There's so many though. I mean, some of the greatest artists in our world are queer in some way, shape, or form,
Agreed.
But him in particular, really, like if you Google Kim Petras, there's articles that show up like I think like 15 years ago, like far before like we knew Kim Petras. She was out there paving the way,
advocating for trans folks and everything. Yeah,
100%, 100%. Who else is just come on? I mean, there's.
What about your life? When did you come out? How old were you?
That's a good. I so
Were
funny.
you
like
full?
I probably came out. Maybe somebody in the other room can even tell me because I don't even fully remember. But like I probably came out like what am I 32? And I came out at probably the end of being on FM radio. Like I probably fully came out about 2 years ago publicly, but was living out and like talking about it when questioned about it, like maybe 3.5, 4 years ago. But I will say, like, I don't know, like when I was on FM radio for a very long time and it was all over the country, we're on 90 different radio stations and like so like a lot of people listening every night. I would talk freely and openly about my life and my partners and the relationships I was going through, but I kept it gender neutral because one day when I did come out, I wanted them to realize that the person and the people that I had been talking to with them for 10 years was actually a guy, and that they could realize that like the trials and tribulations of a same-sex couple is quite literally the exact same as a heterosexual couple. There is no difference. Love is love. Life intertwining is life intertwining. Growing as you go with somebody is growing as you go with somebody. There's, we share way more than we are different. So I was trying to do that, and it worked. It worked, and I came out like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago.
I love that mentality because it shouldn't matter who you're dating. Like dating guy, girl, trans mass, trans femme, doesn't matter. If you love them, it shouldn't be anyone else's business how they feel about it. It's just yours.
I couldn't agree more. And the truth is, like, people do feel like, and they did for a long time feel like it was their business. I just wanted to make it a point to them that like you're supporting me and you're very invested in this relationship, right? And you're on this journey with me, but the end result is going to be that I'm with another man. Like, are you now like you're invested and you appreciate me and we have this companionship and this relationship that we built over the radio for so many years? Like, are you really going to think differently based on the 10 years of history that we've just built together? And the reality is, like, it tested a lot of people's beliefs, and yeah, I think, you know, I don't know fully what it did, but it's by far like one of the most viral things we've ever done, is like me coming out and talking about having a boyfriend, and a lot of it fueled by people who listened on the radio.
Same. When I came out as trans, there was that huge article that blew up, and well,
Crazy. But by the way, to come out in that way has to be scary to a certain degree, right?
It was terrifying. I was crying before the interview.
I do believe in a world where, like, and I've said this for a while, and I don't know if, like, and you, by the way, Ruby, be honest with me, like, just be brutally honest and tell me if it's bullshit or not. But, like, you know, I've always, like, believed in a world where queer people of any type don't need to come out, because I keep thinking to myself, the last time somebody had to, like, announce to the world that they were straight, you know, like, when was the last time somebody had to go, like, hey, heterosexual?
Apparently me.
Apparently
20 minutes
recently,
ago.
yeah.
Literally, yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying, but I feel like coming out is important but I don't think it should be a big deal coming out. I don't think people should be afraid to come out. It's just like, hey, by the way, I like dudes. Hey, by the way, I like chicks. Hey, by the way, I'm a girl. You know, it's not that, it shouldn't be as big a deal as, you know, making a whole hullabaloo about it and then having half the people in your life leave because of it. Well,
Real.
probably, but you know, I just think that we should be accepted, and it should just be like, hey, mom, dad, turns out I like guys. There
Casual.
We go.
In passing.
My follow-up question to you, Zach, is what was the result of the viralness? How did you feel afterwards?
The public response was a lot of people, like, either being like, I knew he was gay this entire time, or people being confused, or like, still today, like, people find out that I'm queer every day and they go, I had no idea Zach Sang was gay or whatever. That was the public response. I think my response was mixed. Like, at first I was like, whoa, like, this did get the reaction that, like, was 10 years in the making. It was like something that I had been, like, I engineered this. Like, I did. Like, I was living 100% honesty and 100% truth on the radio, but the only thing I was eliminating was the gender of the person I was with. And, like, to see that response at the end of it, I, like, yeah, like, a part of me was gratified, but then I was also, like, incredibly terrified, because there's 10 million people who have seen this one thing, and it's like, well, what does that really mean? You know? And, like, where does that go from here? And, like, did I even need to really share it? Like, and did me doing this, even though it was received by people, doesn't necessarily mean it was received either positive or negative. Like, I don't know. It was a great deal of confusion mixed with a tiny bit of satisfaction that people gave a crap, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that anybody cared at all. It was weird.
So, Ruby, I'm going to address something you just said, which I think it will be helpful for people.
Sure.
When Ruby said that she wept the day we did that People Magazine article, and the reason we did the People Magazine article was that the following week, the Halloween movie was going to come out, and Ruby was going to come to the premiere of the Halloween movie.
Was that the cosplay one?
Yeah.
And I was dressed as Toriel from Undertale.
Which, describe what Toriel looks like.
She's the motherly figure in Undertale. Goat mom, if you look her up. She's
goat. What does she look like? What is her skin tone?
Pure white.
Pure white. And what does she wear?
A purple dress that almost looks like a nun's uniform.
And what kind of ears does she have? Little goat ears.
Well, floppy goat ears.
Floppy goat ears. So I knew that Ruby was coming to the premiere as this character in a purple dress covered in white makeup with goat ears. And she had 2 weeks before, made this declaration on Facebook that she was trans. And I was concerned that the first photograph that the press was going to get of my trans daughter, someone I had immediately stood up and said, I am proud of her, that my concern was that that would be the image then that would be sent all around the world of Ruby. And I thought the cruelty and the meanness, because it was a really exaggerated costume. And
I mean,
so
I didn't have huge tracts of land, as Monty Python puts it.
yes, no, I understand, but it was just more the odd nature of the outfit out of context of a cosplay premiere.
Yeah.
I felt would have been taken out of context. And
Real.
so
You're wearing a 1940s outfit. I'm sure people would have figured something was wrong.
thank you. Out of that came this idea to do an article for People with Jason Sheeler, who's a great writer and a an advocate. And I felt like it was the better thing to do. But the reason I'm bringing it up is that when Ruby was at my house and we were about to talk to Jason, Ruby was weeping. And I said, what's going on? And she said,
it's going
There's
to do
so-
so
you
much
said
good.
You said there's so many people in the world whose parents don't support them and who aren't going to get the kind of attention that I'm getting and the loving attention that I'm getting. And I just feel weird about it. And it was obviously incredibly, it was a big moment for us because it wasn't she was afraid, it was she was feeling so much empathy for all those whose families weren't sitting next to them discussing with a journalist this moment in their lives. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that, Ruby, it has stayed with me as a real moment of connection between us because that vulnerability was out of compassion for others.
So I am going to have to say this. We are going to have to wrap up this section of our interview, but if you have any final questions, please, I'm happy to answer them or vice versa.
This was great. This was a lot of fun. And also like that was really moving. And I've learned a lot here today, guys. Like I would love to hang in person, like IRL, like analog, you know?
Heck yeah.
I know what IRL or IRT stands for.
I in real life.
In real time.
In real time, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
What is time anyway besides just
I'd be
fabricated
totally
something?
down.
Cool. Let's do it. I'm also I'm gonna
I-
hang out. I want to watch your stream because you're gonna hang out with Jake Wesley Rogers, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I have such a great story about it.
But so you okay, you're listening to Jake's music? You should tell the world about this because I want
Excuse
people to
me.
listen to Jake's
Excuse me,
music as well.
You obvi don't follow me on Instagram, biatch.
I started. I see.
Okay, well, you started, but you're a little freaking late. So go back a week, bitch. And I should
this.
like be talking about Jake. Really? I should? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just keep the word consistent, like, maybe sink him in a movie. Just no pressure.
I'm working on it all. I'm trying to
Trust me, I'm trying to get into voice acting. Maybe I'll be in one of her movies one day.
Right.
I do gotta say, like, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Beautiful speaking voice. It's it's the right amount of monotone, but also the right amount of like the right vibrancy, if that makes sense. It's soothing, it's consistent, but also like you show excitement. So there's like ups and downs. It's good.
You're lovely, Zach. God bless you. Take good care.
Back to the both of you. Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this. You're
Thank
lovely.
you. I
Literally
appreciate it.
anytime. Sending love to both of you. Have fun, and I'll be watching.
Always.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. So, from Zangarang, Ruby, the thing that was obvious to me within the first 5 minutes of meeting you, way back when way back when, was your sweet empathy. Thank you, Zangarang. I know exactly who you are.
Is that Jennifer?
Yeah, that's Jen. Thank you so much, Jen, and I appreciate you supporting me. Ah,
We have
welcome,
Jake.
welcome.
Oh my God, Jake! Oh, I can't
Oh my god.
Hey,
Whoa,
welcome.
we're all
Hi.
here.
Hi,
I
Jake.
I was watching the stream for the last hour and I forgot that I would just be here suddenly.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Hi
Hi
there.
Jamie. Hi Ruby.
Hi. It's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to Tavern Talks in the Charity
Oh,
Inn.
thank you. It's my honor to be here.
I need to just let the universe know how we have connected up, Ruby, because it has to do with family.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
So, Jake, welcome to Tavern Talks. I am before I was a mother, I was a godmother, and I'm the godmother of Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal,
Yep.
Who I've known since they were young people. And then I became a mother. And I've stayed close with Jake and Maggie my whole life. Obviously, all my children, we're all family. I mean, they are family to me. They are as close as family. And Jake is finishing up his incredible run doing Othello on Broadway, where he plays Iago, and he's spectacular. I mean, he is just jaw-dropping. So Jake and I, we communicate fairly regularly on the email, on the text, and out of the blue, like what was it, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Jake sent me your album and said, "This slays me. Like, this is so crucial to my being." And I immediately listened and immediately, as you know, became quite a cheerleader. So your music, this is your debut album. Yes?
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
us all. Come on. I'm
Yeah,
so
hello.
proud of you. Tell us a little bit.
Oh, it's a mind-blowing story. And I'm so
That
honored.
is,
Yeah, it's my
that is the story
That's
of
the
why
story.
I know your music right now, is because Jake Gyllenhaal sent it to me, and I then became slightly obsessed, and I have like a slight cheerleader, because you're a great artist and your music is exceptional, and you have a story to tell.
Thank you. I definitely do have a story to tell.
Tell us,
Yeah,
tell us your story.
Well, I've been releasing music since I was, gosh, like 14 years old. I grew up in Missouri, in the Bible Belt. So I like to say I was a little rhinestone on the belt buckle, and
Fabulous.
and I started performing when I was like 4 or 5. It was always theater for me, which is, you mentioned Broadway. Yeah, that was always my dream. But then I sort of became tired of singing other people's songs and other people's stories in theater. So that's when I just naturally started writing and literally never stopped. And here we are today. There's a lot in the middle, but
And tell me about the album.
the album's called In the Key of Love. Yeah, it literally just came out 3 weeks ago. So you're very in the new. You're on it. You and Jake are
my
on it.
finger on the pulse of you
Yeah.
young
Of course.
It's everything I had a chance to make a full-length album a couple of times during this process, but it always ended up being something shorter. And I think the reason is because I was meant to make this as the first body of work. I grew up loving albums and grew up, my parents raised me on really, really good music. My mom was a radio DJ growing up. So
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
And
What kind of radio station?
she was in rock radio. Yeah, I know. I have a pretty badass mom. I think she's listening. I'm on a little trip with them right now. They're downstairs, so I'm sure they're listening. Yeah, so making this album, it was kind of the secret process at first, because while I was making it, I was also touring for the first time in my life, and I was opening for a lot of people, and all these things were happening. And the album was sort of I guess I wore my Joni Mitchell shirt for you too, because I know you love Joni. But
Don't
it's
even
people like
start
her.
with me
It's
about Joni.
I know. We could talk for probably hours. I've always felt this impulse in it to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in the art I'm making, and this one was kind of, okay, how deep can I go? There's a great Bowie quote that's like, I'm paraphrasing, but he talks about when you're creating, you should always swim out a little further than when your toes touch. And this one, I feel like I swam out quite a bit past that, but I did come back. And it's about, I mean, it's about love, but I feel like it's really about unconditional love, which is beautiful to hear both of you talking, which is the love I see that you both have for each other. And it's a love that I think is crucial to our existence, but is also so rare in this world, which I know you both were just talking about right before I came on. And it's kind of that unconditional love that is at the, it's at the core of my journey, and what I'm really interested in writing about and singing about and finding within myself too. So that's
By the
the
way,
album.
that's very much what the Trevor Project, unconditional love is what the Trevor Project offers gay kids. They opened themselves and said, we are a safe haven for you. We will help you. We love you. You said, love. Ruby, when Ruby got married, in our backyard 3 years ago, just a week ago, we had your third anniversary. The party favor at the wedding was a T-shirt that said "Wife is sweet," and it was an illustration. Who did the illustration, Ruby?
That would be my friend something. I'm not sure if she draws anymore, but she might. If you're watching something, hi.
Hi, but she drew this beautiful portrait of Ruby and Cynthia, and it said "Wife is sweet," and it's, as you said, love is the center of everything, Jake. And certainly is your music, certainly is Ruby's dedication to the Trevor Project and Stream for a Cause. Ruby's life is love in that way. And I'm very proud, literally proud, that's her path. It's like your path. I'm sure your parents are particularly happy and proud of you right now.
They are. And it's funny, I was listening to y'all talk before this with Zach, and that moment you said you're crying before your interview.
Yeah.
I feel that on a deep level too. I have a song I put out about 4 years ago now. It's called Pluto. In the second verse, I say, I think of my mom, she loves me no matter what. That really fucks me up. And why it really fucks me up is for that same reason, because I was thinking about a person in particular that I went to college with, that I saw them come out and literally lose everything. I mean, by the next week, they didn't have a cell phone. Like, it was like cut. And then I'm sitting there like, well, why did I win the lottery?
Yeah, that's my thing too. It's just like, why am I the special one when so many people are suffering from doing the exact same thing?
Right. I don't know the answer to that.
No, and I don't think anyone does.
I know the answer. What you both do with it is, that's why the quote from earlier today, life hinges on a couple seconds you never see coming. So what you both have done with your outness, whatever, I don't know if your parents saw it coming. I don't know if you saw it coming. My guess is you saw it coming. I'm sure Ruby also saw it coming, but what you've done with it is the fact that Ruby has dedicated her professional life to raising money for other people through a stream. The fact that you've made music about love is the reason why you both got the kind of love and support. That love is only just going to grow exponentially. That's what music does more beautifully than any other art form, I think. Music
agree.
grows love quicker and wider, and faster, and you're growing love literally right now.
Yeah.
People are growing love from you.
No, I've always felt that about music. It kind of shocked me at first because, you know, when I started, I've always written songs from. I never filtered myself. It's like you know, all my songs. If it was a love song, I probably said he in it about the love interest. And anyway, I put out the song a while ago now. I was only 21, and it's called Jacob from the Bible, and it's this love story, a gay love story. My first boyfriend's name was Jacob, and my full name is Jacob, and that's what it's about.
Excuse me.
And bless you. And I released it, and this message, I mean, I still think about it a lot. I got this DM on Instagram, and this guy messaged me, and he said, I heard the song on a playlist or something, and he just said he kept listening because he was so beautiful, you know, he just loved how it sounded, and then he like actually listened to it and listened to the words. And he explained that at that time he was in a very fundamental religious mindset, and it went against, I mean, everything he had ever been taught. But then he said this line that I've really never forgotten. He said it was a turning point for himself, and he said, how could something so beautiful be so evil? And he said that was like the moment that it was really his sort of, you know, aha moment that perhaps there is actually nothing evil going on here. Perhaps this is just love. So that, I mean, that's that. I think of that every time, you know, I need to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, because music does that in a way, like you said, that I have not really experienced with other art forms. It's pretty miraculous.
Well, it also gets disseminated so quickly. You know, a song can go, I mean, anybody, anywhere in the universe can listen to your music right now. What is the name of the album again?
Pluto.
In the Key of Love.
Oh.
I'm gonna make you
No,
say
Pluto
it like
was the song. Yeah.
no, Pluto is the song, but they can now stream. They can find Pluto and, you know, pull that song up and listen to it.
Yeah.
And in the same way that Ruby streams,
Yeah.
and there is
Mhm.
no barrier to anybody anywhere in the world. For me to get a movie out, you have to like get some sort. I mean, luckily, streaming does allow now kind of a global reach for something, but for a long time it wasn't available. You had to go to a theater. But music, you've been able to share with others easier. And so I do feel it's the quickest and easiest way to make a point in art is through music. And that's what your album does. And look how fast, look how freaking fast. Look at me avoiding the F word. Look how freaking fast Jake sends me your album. I call KCRW from a cold call, like your manager from a parking lot in a place, just to be able to connect their dot to KCRW, my radio station, so that more people can hear you. It's and then as you said, you posted the KCRW played My Misery. So I'm telling you, music kind of transcends it all, but so does gaming.
Yeah.
So does gaming. Have you ever been to a gaming convention or anything like that, Jake?
I have not.
Okay, Ruby, how many have we done?
We did 2 BlizzCons and an Evo. And an Evo, yeah.
When
Wow.
you go to a gaming convention, and I'm sure there are streaming conventions, are there such things?
TwitchCon and PAX and stuff like that. Of
Okay,
course.
so
Yeah.
like TwitchCon, I'm telling you, the amount of people you meet, the way that gaming has spread across the universe to bring people together. And particularly in Ruby's case, they come to her stream because Ruby donates every subscription. Ruby donates the money to one charity. Any money's raised outrightly in the stream, the money goes directly to the Trevor Prize. There's no middleman. She doesn't skim off the top. And that's such a beautiful advocacy. It kind of kills me.
Absolutely.
It's rare too. I mean,
I'm in
you
showbiz.
know,
everybody's out for the money. And so I'm very proud of her.
Speaking of which, thank you so much for all the people donating. I'm sorry I can't shout you out individually, but thank you so much. I appreciate all of you.
And is your plan to tour the music right now? Is that?
Yeah, I'll be opening for Cyndi Lauper this summer, which I'm so excited
Oh
about.
my God. By the way, did you see her t-shirts? Girls
Wait.
just want to have you seen her
Oh, the
t-shirts?
Fundamental Rights.
Yep.
Yes.
Or which one? Yeah,
the
that
girls
was
just want to have fundamental rights.
so good.
It's
She's
so
such an ally.
good.
Speaking of allies, yeah, I mean
Okay.
she's
I have a really weird Cyndi Lauper. Okay, Ruby.
Are the rumors true? Does she really just want to have fun?
Yes. Very funny. Okay, are you ready? You know how the
I'm
6 degrees of separation here is you, Jake Gyllenhaal, you, my daughter, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
I will keep this brief. So I am married to Christopher Guest. I've been married for 41 years this year.
Wow.
We've been married.
Congratulations.
The reason I am married to him is because in 1984, Cyndi Lauper was on the cover of Rolling Stone. And she's twisting her skirt one way and her head the other. And in that magazine was an article about Spinal Tap. And there was a picture of 3 guys standing together, just regular looking dudes in button-down shirts with their arms around each other. And I was sitting with my friend Deborah Hill, going back to horror films, Ruby, which we're going to do after Jake.
Yep.
And Deborah Hill, who wrote and produced Halloween. And I was sitting with Deborah Hill on my couch in WeHo, in the gay capital of the universe. I was living in an apartment. And I turned the page and there was a picture of these 3 guys. And I said to Deborah Hill out loud, I am going to marry that one. That guy right there. And she said, who? I said, that one right there. And it was a picture of Christopher Guest. And she said, oh, he's an actor. I tried to put him in a movie. His name is Chris Guest. I said, oh, I'm going to marry him. And she said, okay, whatever. So she said, he's with your agent. So the next day I called his agent and his agent picked up the phone and said, hi, Jamie, I know all about it, Chris Guest. And I was like, what? And he said, Deborah Hill called me. I said, look, I'm not a stalker. I think the guy's cute. Here's my number. He didn't call me. I left my number, I hung up, thought, okay, that's weird. He never called me. I dated someone else. And then the day I broke up with that guy, I went to a restaurant in WeHo called Hugo's on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Hugo's.
And I sat down and 2 tables away, Chris was facing me at a table and he looked at me and he went like this. And I looked at him and went, and then 5 minutes later, he got up to leave and he went like this. And I went like this. He didn't speak to me. He got up and left. He called me the next day. That was June 28th, 1984. We went out July 2nd, 1984, and we got married December 18th, 1984, 41 years ago, because Cyndi Lauper was on the cover of Rolling Stone, which is why I opened the magazine. I wouldn't have bought the magazine if Cyndi Lauper hadn't been on the cover.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Every time I hear that story, it's still amazing.
That's the Cyndi Lauper of it all. So, and you're going out on tour with Cyndi Lauper. That is going to be fantastic. Are you going to be here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, so it's the last leg of her farewell tour, and it ends at the Hollywood Bowl.
When?
August 30th and 31st, the last 2 days of August.
Maybe we'll be here. Okay, I promise you this.
If I will be here.
If we're here, Ruby and I will come and be at the Hollywood Bowl. Fingers crossed we're in town. Wow, what a Hollywood Bowl. You're gonna play the Hollywood Bowl. Oh my God.
That's so sick.
I'm so excited. I mean, the last time I went there was to see Joni. Oh, which is just the best. Wait, I have to say about that story. If you see a picture of my husband and you feel that about me, please let me know.
I will. Thank you very much. Will
you open a Rolling Stone and you go, that's Jake's husband.
Will you sing the song that you talked about earlier, a cappella, at the Hollywood Bowl as your final song?
Oh, Pluto? Oh, definitely. Definitely. I usually do that one last, so yes.
Oh, who knew that?
Are you also I think you're also psychic.
She's a huge fan of yours.
Well, let me just say this. I saw Alanis Morissette at the Greek Theater, and
Yeah.
she sang a song a cappella at the end of the concert. You know, all the musicality was done, and her final song she sang a cappella. And, you know, in that night air with those acoustics, with your voice, that will
Mm.
be bonkers and people will love it.
That's a
I-
real that's yep. I'll call my band after this.
okay.
We're gonna make that work. We're gonna make that work. It's funny you
Ruby,
said
do you
that
have
because
any other
I
questions for Jake?
Oh, we do have a few. Actually, we wrote down a couple.
yes.
So here's an interesting one. If you could compose music for an anime or video game series, what would it be and why?
Oh, well, this actually happened, but I would love to do more for it. I grew up loving The Sims. The Sims was like
You did
that
music
was
for
like
The Sims?
well, I did one song for it. They
cool.
remixed one of my songs because they send you your song but in Simlish, and you have to record it in the Sims language. And so it was kind of a peak experience of my life. I don't remember the expansion pack it was on. It was a couple years ago, but I still remember the song was Hindsight 2020, but I had to go hib sib tabu.
That's amazing. I'm sure my wife would know, and that is fantastic.
I would love to do more for The Sims. So I'm manifesting that. I still love The Sims. I mean, it's to
EA,
play
get on
God in that way
it.
is so fun. I honestly sometimes I walk around public and I'm like, that's a sim. Like some people just kind of look like some people look like somebody is clicking on things for them, you know?
Oh, I know that exact feeling.
So I guess that's my answer. I don't really know many games other than that one.
Oh, that
That was kind
answer
of
is
my
awesome. No.
that was my number one.
Well, you picked a damn good game because I've been playing The Sims since I was what 10 with my with my sister. So
Me too. Me too.
Do you have
Classic.
siblings, Jake?
They do. They're actually, I think that I just heard them get home. I have a brother. He's a little bit older than me, and he has two little babies now. And I just met my niece for the first time yesterday. We're at Yellowstone right now for the week, and
What
it's
are
just the
and
best.
he has two babies. What are their names?
Well, the first is Thomas, and he's about 20 months now, I think.
Oh, wow.
And then Julia, her name's Julia Tempest, which I think is the coolest name ever. And she was born in March, so she's itty bitty.
You're going to need at the end of this, when you go away, you have my number, I believe. Yes, you do. We exchange numbers, or in that thing that we do, or we communicated.
yeah.
Yes.
Please send me their address where they live
Okay, I will.
for a reason.
Okay, I will. I'm sure they're all listening downstairs right now, so they're probably excited.
I bet.
Hmm.
But thank you so much for coming here. By the way, it's so much fun.
You're an amazing person. You spread love. You bring love. You sing love. You're in your family love. Your face is love. Your future husband is love. Cindy Lauper is love.
Love. It's all love, isn't it?
You are a beautiful, beautiful artist. I would have heard you ultimately in the universe, because the minute you hear your voice, you're like, wait, what? But the fact that you came to me, I'm telling you, right, hold please. Hold 1 second. Hold on. Let me just see. Hold on. I'm literally going to do something here. This is so crazy. Okay, hold on. Hold, please. This is what Jake texted me.
Oh,
This
that's so
song, this
sweet.
whole album. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Hell
that was at like 6 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles. I just woke up to a text from him.
wow. Well,
For
I'm honored.
those, just you know what? Watch this. I can do A&R all at the same time.
I know. I
Hopefully.
was like, I'm hiring you as my
I know.
my
Hold,
promotion.
please, one more second. So for the people on the stream, that's the album. And
God
that's the
bless.
song God Bless. But the album, that's the album. You're wearing a crown.
In the key of love.
And you
In the Key
look
of Love.
amazing.
You're a
Oh.
beautiful person. God bless you. Thank you for coming on our stream.
Oh, God bless you both, and thank you for doing this for the Trevor Project. It's so important. I'm so honored to be a part of it.
Of
And
course.
hope to talk again soon.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, you're always welcome back.
Hollywood Bowl. The Hollywood Bowl, bitch. Come
Hollywood
on.
Bowl.
That's so exciting. How fun was that?
That was tons of fun. So, those are our guests for today, but I am going to be bringing Jade in here in a second so she can help me with tech for the next little event that we have planned.
I'm ready for you with your horror troping.
Alrighty. Jade, can you jump back and call? Oh,
I have to go let Rooney out. Give me one
go
second.
for it. We'll actually go to BRB real quick, and we'll be back in, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes. Actually, I can get everything set up while on stream. So, let's see. There it is. So, we actually have some really fun people to get in this tier maker today.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Jade.
Hello, and Ruby, I believe there was something that happened in chat just a little while ago while we were interviewing.
Oh, was there?
Twitch donated $500 to the Trevor Project.
I did see that. Yes, thank you so much, Twitch. And I did whisper in my mic, but I don't think it picked up.
No, wow, that's beautiful.
No
Thank
worries.
you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch.
Yeah, no, don't go on the break yet. We can get everything ready to go right here.
Yep.
I just went and opened the front door. I'm good to go.
Oh, all right. So let me pull this up on my end.
I don't need a break if we're just going straight into it. We should be good.
Yeah. And all right. So here is what we've got ready to go.
So we have a mix of friends of mine and some very big VTubers that we want to show off to you and have your opinion on where they sit in our tier list here.
Okay, but I need to see the tier list.
It is.
It's there.
Yeah, it's there. It's there along, and Jade's going to be showing off the characters on her screen.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So
okay,
the categories we have are the killer, the local who knows, the detective. Why does my audio keep changing? Anyway, the damsel, the heroic sacrifice, the groovy hero, the final girl, of course, the first kill, and the twist killer. I don't know.
and you're gonna then show me pictures?
Of course. And names.
Okay.
Yes.
And give you little descriptions of the characters. Why
Great.
does my audio
There
keep
we
changing?
go.
Every time. Stop. You stupid microphone.
Chat,
Anyway.
how's our audio looking?
No, it's my mic. My mic keeps turning itself down, and I don't know why. Anyway.
All right, there we go. And then let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Who do we have first? Ooh,
Okay.
this
We're gonna go off the vibes first before you get the name or the details.
Okay.
What do you
I'm
think of
looking
them?
at what the selections are. I'm looking at them.
Well, oh yeah, over here. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I just
here,
it's a little small on my screen.
Uh,
It's
Oh,
fine.
great. I needed to let you read through them all, didn't I? Oopsie. Let me go back real quick.
so
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay. I'm gonna write them down.
I
The
love
killer, the local who knows.
Yep.
The detective. The damsel. I think that girl that we just showed might have been the damsel.
Oh.
The heroic sacrifice.
Oh, this is going to be amazing, Jade. This idea was peak.
The
This will be fun.
hero. The final girl. The first kill. Or the twist killer.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to go back to that person and show me who they are?
Sure.
All right.
So
Um,
go based on vibes before we tell you anything about them.
okay, I already got it. The damsel.
Okay.
Tell me about them.
This is Adrian Woodland, a femboy fey elf VTuber. That is a man.
Okay. Like I said, the
yeah.
damsel.
All right. Let's stick them in damsel. God, fuck my mic. Why is it doing this? The damsel. So we have one in the damsel category, which is Adrian.
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
And now we're going to continue on our list. This is my friend Gerg. Where do you think he fits? And give us your
The
reasoning.
first kill.
Why do you think that?
Because he looks sweet and kind of gentle and not violent.
You know what? I'll give you that. Fair enough. Gerg is the immortal king of the space goblins. And he's an independent English VTuber. He's a wonderful
Right.
dude.
Oh,
What do you think? This dude, first of all, I just want to say I love his design. This is Agent Magnetar for any of you who don't know. This design is sick, and he has like 8 different colors of it. It's super cool.
the twist killer.
Ooh, Magnetar is the twist. He starts out the hero and ends up becoming the villain.
Yep. Very good.
Alrighty. Yeah, Astral Agent Magnetar. I don't actually know this one. Jade, would you give us a little bit of insight?
Of course, I've thrown in a few here intentionally that you don't know. And this one, well, I mean, it's more fun if you find out the name afterwards, isn't it?
Fair
The
enough.
heroic sacrifice.
The heroic sacrifice. You know what?
Ooh.
I agree. They're the one who stays behind to let everyone else escape.
Knowing them, on point.
Why the
Excellent. A German English VTuber. Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh. What do you think of that? That design.
That's the groovy hero.
The groovy hero. All right, Jade. Who is this and
Ooh.
what can you tell us about
Why do you think so?
him?
Because she looks groovy.
fellow doll character, I have to agree.
Sis-
And oh,
Sissy
why
Lou.
why did you think Fisky was the heroic sacrifice?
I don't know. There was something sacrificial in her, vibe.
All right.
The final girl.
Our dear Selly is the final girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we still have...
Oh, why did you think so?
Just she was giving final girl. This is the detective.
You've actually met this one. This is Akka from our last stream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the detective, definitely.
Yeah, Akka definitely gives detective energy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Akka Baka.
Yep. The local who knows.
Ooh.
Ooh.
FYI, you can put multiple characters in categories in the same category.
Okay, well, I was just trying to fill out my slate first.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm not mad at that. Fair enough. Doki Bird. They're a thief and here to rob your heart. Fuck my mic. Why does it have to do this at the end?
Stuff
That's
is a natural.
killer.
Ooh.
Trua is the killer.
There's my slate. I think I filled them all, didn't I?
Yes, I accidentally put Gerg in the wrong place.
Oops. We've got a whole bunch of. I think we have like 30.
All right,
What?
well, so that's my first round.
Yep.
Should we do like rounds of them? So that was like the first
Oh no,
round?
this is fine. Just basically, these work like who do you think fits in their category, typically personality-wise or design-wise or whatever.
Okay.
So it's up to you. But yeah, our Orca VTuber is the killer. Nice.
Okay. All right. Hmm. The detective.
Oh, there's another
Ooh.
detective. Pirate detective.
And who is
How do you-
the character?
That is Hosho Marine, of the captain of the Hosho Pirates, and she is a Japanese VTuber.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think that plays out with her as the detective?
I think she lost her eye investigating something.
Ooh.
Fair.
I
Pirate
like
detective.
that. I like that description. Just like a little description for each Y. I like it. Little backstory.
She's giving final girl.
Okay. We got our second final girl. This is
How do you think? How does
Goblin.
that one play out for final girl? What are you thinking?
Well, I might have a little sense of it. There's an innocence to a final girl. There's an intelligence to a final girl. There's an openness to a final girl, and there's also something very guarded.
You heard it from the final girl herself.
Yes, you did.
That sounds like Corone.
Ooh, I actually love that design.
Yeah, I love that design too. Twist killer.
Ooh, she's the other twist. Nice.
There's something.
Mm-hmm.
The two different color eyes.
Yeah.
It's
I see what you mean. Yeah.
it's a popular trend with VTubers that they don't have the same color eyes.
Ah, interesting. Well, because I'm not that down with VTubers,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with that. All right.
just for anyone popping in, just a reminder, we are also still donating to the Trevor Project.
Of
Holy
course.
smoke. I just realized we're at $930 raised so far. Good job, chat. And
Hell
thank you
yeah.
both as well.
That's a beautiful bit of advocacy if I ever did hear it. Thank you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
people who are enjoying the stream and the beautiful community that we are supporting.
Of course.
Oh,
Where's this one going?
the first kill.
Oh god, that's a good one.
That's Doki.
That's
Bird.
also Doki Bird.
Yeah, we had her earlier. She's a tomato sometimes.
All right. Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know about this character here.
Mm.
I am giving you the biggest glare right now, Jade.
Mm. The local who knows.
Yeah, she would be. If anyone has her ears
So
to the
on
ground,
point.
that's
Oh, that's Jade.
That's
Oh.
me. That
So
one right
how
there
weird is
me.
that? There you go. I mean, there you go. You're the local who knows.
So hey, we've got a trans girl right here amongst the VTuber slots as well.
heck yeah. And Jade is a sweetheart. By the way, let's all thank Jade while she's here because holy crap, none of this could have been done without her.
No, it's a beautiful bit of advocacy. It's lovely. Thank you so much.
Not blushing at all.
I'm going damsel. Damsel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This is Tato. This is Jade's. This is one of Jade's favorite Vocaloids.
Ah,
Also
yeah,
not a VTuber.
Yep, technically.
sometimes a pair. Yep, definite damsel.
Sometimes a pair. She's actually a vocal synth, and the English community around her is extremely pro LGBT, an absolute boatload of trans creators. As you two were discussing earlier, the first thing that came to mind when you talked about queer content creators and musicians was the people who use this girl as a voice for their music. A lot of trans creators and a lot of young trans creators. They basically make this character sing.
Wow.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. Oh. Hmm.
You should know this one. This is the person who got me into VTubing.
Gob?
Yeah, that's Gob.
The heroic sacrifice.
Of course he is.
That is Gob, the heroic sacrifice. Who also likes a cookie. Yep, I like that. And now we're down to the last one. Oh no, we have two. The
Well,
killer and the
like,
groovy hero.
again, it's not just. Anyway, again, you're not trying to fill out the sheet. It's
I like to do my homework. I think you know that.
okay.
Oh, the groovy hero? Absolutely.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, groovy hero. Yes.
Heck
She-
yeah.
Yeah, you know, she appears sort of, you know, innocent, and actually she's very brave and a hero.
Oh, and thank you, Johns, for another 20 for the Trevor Project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I can't see what people are donating, so
I-
for those who are donating, thank you. I'm a bit of a neophyte at this, so I can't be on another stream in time or my brain explodes.
Yeah.
No, there's been a ton coming in through the stream, and it's not, you can't always get every single chat that comes along.
Yeah.
But
of
hey,
course.
thank you all so
Any
much.
questions from anybody? We know we
Mhm.
let questions come in if there were questions.
Oh yeah. It. Do,
I might have sent you a few earlier,
hold
actually.
on, hold on. There's one. No, she's not the first. Maybe she's the first kill. Maybe you don't see this one coming. Maybe this one looks like really aggro, and then she ends up the first kill. I'm gonna go first kill on her.
okay.
Ooh.
That's Ray,
And
right? Yeah, that's
that
Lady
is Ray.
She's one of my
That-
other ambassador friends. First Stream
Yep.
for a Cause.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stream for a Cause.
And I do think I had some questions from earlier. I hope that folks are still in chat. But somebody did. Gone Goblin asked earlier, what's the strangest or most unexpected candle that has lit up a dark moment of your life?
Well, do you remember a store called Bed Bath and Beyond?
Yeah.
Remember how you used to go in there and everything smelled like cinnamon?
Did it?
I don't like cinnamon. There's something about a cinnamon candle that I want to throw it through the window. Candles. I am totally olfactory, and so I am very smell.
Mom,
yeah.
that wasn't the question.
Yes, it is about a candle.
No. What is the candle that lit up a dark part of your life? The strangest candle that lit up a dark part of your life, not a literal candle.
I'm sorry, you've lost me.
Okay, what is the weirdest thing that brought you out of a dark point in your life?
My children.
Okay, that's good being called strange on stream.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about candles. Okay, bring me another.
Let's go to the next one. Let's see.
Ooh, that's the killer.
Ooh.
Totally the killer.
Totally the killer?
Yeah.
Jade, you didn't give me that one on the tier maker.
I didn't?
No, you didn't put that one on.
One got missed. Oops.
Send it over. I got it.
It's VTubing. That's stuff is how it works.
She's also one of your Stream for a Cause ambassador friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, excellent. Yes, she's the killer.
Yeah, this is Emrys. So, I do have a question, Mom. What? Because you've been an advocate for the LGBTQ since before I was born.
Yes.
What made you, what made you want to do that?
My friend Rick Frank. My friend Rick, who was an actor. He was on a TV series I did called Anything But Love. And he and his husband George became very, very, very close friends of mine. They both died from AIDS. Rick died in 1995. And, he changed my life.
Right?
Because he loved me probably more than most people I knew. And the feeling of love from him and the feeling I had of love for him, sort of opened me up a bit. He was an amazing human being.
So, Love the Dark Alpha has a message that they want me to read out to you.
Okay.
Thank you for being my inspiration, along with John Ritter, into acting. Did my first commercial in 2010 with my dad. Unfortunately, he passed and never got to see it, so it's special to me.
Wow. Well, I think inspiration, as you know, comes from some feeling of connectivity and like-minded, like thinking, like feeling that you see in someone. and that's beautiful. I'm happy to be in the orbit with you. So thanks. All right. Huh. All right, we're
Thi-
over.
huh?
We're starting over on my list.
We still only have one killer. Oh no,
No, I'll get another killer.
Emrys was the other killer. Yeah.
Get another killer. Hmm.
I'll add Emrys here after stream, but anyway.
uh, Um. Hmm.
FYI, this is one of the coolest artists on Twitch, in my opinion. Just hands down.
I'm gonna go weird here. The twist killer.
Yeah, fair.
Ooh. What kind of killer is she?
Oh, that I don't know. It's just she's feigning innocence and kind of quietude, and I'm feeling like there's something bigger at foot here.
Hey Jade,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Yandere?
Ooh, so she's been planning it from the start. She didn't lose it because of the killer. She's been planning it.
Yeah,
I get you. I get you.
I
feel
feel
those
like
vibes.
she's demure, but it's yeah. See?
Yep, Scarlet Otaku.
Ah.
A good friend of
Um,
mine does a lot of my art.
Before this one, Unkinding's mom wants to know how old was Jamie when she got her role in Halloween?
19
Dang.
years old. It was 1978. In the spring of the early January of 1978. I'm going the detective.
Ooh.
Does she look familiar?
Yes, we played that game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You
Yep.
put her creator and her in the same category.
Oh, that's interesting. That's great.
They're
Yeah.
both detectives.
Well, obviously she has a lot of intelligence and a lot of depth to her work.
Of course.
The local who knows it all.
Yeah, I'd give that to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
Nello. Nello head.
Sounds like Nella.
Yep. He is definitely the local who knows it all. Dude is a great, great VTuber, and me and him are model siblings, actually.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, same artist.
Yep.
So that means same artist of their VTuber models.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny. All the VTubers call when they have a model artist, they treat them like parents. It's I think father is the artist and mother is the rigger. It's interchangeable. But anytime two people have the same person who made a model, it's their model siblings.
Yep.
Also, a question from Jonas Does Stuff.
Ooh.
Hi, Miss Curtis. I first saw you in True Lies. How was it working with James Cameron?
I loved working with him. He obviously is a really talented guy and fun, but really has a command of what he wants and how he wants it done. And he's a very strong person. And he also is really funny because he wrote True Lies. So when I watch it, and it's legitimately funny, it also, I think he probably hasn't gotten enough credit for being funny. And so I think he's kind of funny.
You know what? While we're on this topic, since you got to embarrass me earlier, I'm going to embarrass myself. Most awkward moment in my life, first time watching True Lies with her.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Because
I didn't mean to embarrass you, Ruby, by the way. I'm just,
you
didn't mean-
paused.
say what?
You paused during the stripped scene.
Oh
You stripped down and danced.
Okay. Let's move on, shall we?
Oh, now you know how I feel.
All right. And we have like 3 more minutes before I turn into a pumpkin.
Oh, that's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
So,
We've got like what, 5 more?
Yeah, we got 5 more of these. So
okay.
let's
Here I
go
go.
through them.
Um, th- um, I think she might be the first kill. There's something, I know that's probably,
All right.
I think once in a while you just, you know,
Poor Rima. Poor Rima.
but you know, she's gonna go. So I think the first kill. I think
Yeah.
that's correct. All right.
She does do news, and news reporters usually,
one-
oftentimes, don't they end up?
I think you're right.
You're on point.
Thank you. There's your final girl right there.
You know what? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one's a survivor.
Yeah.
The-
There's your final girl right there. Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, they are.
And there's your groovy hero.
Ooh.
Fun fact,
She's-
I'm going.
she-
I may be getting a theme song in the future, and she may be singing it.
Oh, wow. Wow. What is her name?
Odyssey
Ah.
Eurobeat.
Eurobeat. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What did you say she was? Sorry, Groovy Hero.
Groovy hero.
She was the groovy hero. This is the damsel.
Damsel.
Ooh.
Yep. Podge is definitely a damsel in distress.
Mm.
Yep. There's your heroic sacrifice.
You know what? Can't help but agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, Red.
I'm pretty clear.
Love you. My darling artist who made this wonderful border in like 30 minutes, by the way.
Is the killer.
Yeah, she would be.
Yeah, CB would be.
CB, who I've been an admirer of for a long time, secretly is the killer.
By the way, do you want me to ask her to design you a character and then we get that model
Yes.
rigged for next time?
Should definitely talk about, who's that? Hold on. I think how many more do you have, Jade?
3.
Three
3
more.
or 2?
Oh. We're almost done.
Yeah, we got like 2 or 3 more.
All right, so now these are just going to be rando.
Go for it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going the local who knows a lot.
This is another charity streamer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tiffany would be.
Tiffany
Yeah.
definitely would be.
Uh-oh.
I think this is our last one.
Well, then she's our final girl with the rabbit.
Alrighty.
That one is Asada Pokora, another Japanese VTuber.
Japanese VTuber, yeah. Well done. Well, this was fun.
Right?
Movie's over. Who survived? I did. Thank you for having me. I thought this went really well.
Right? It's so much
and
fun.
so I'll see you guys on Friday, and we're going to have some more guests.
We will have some more guests. Me and Jade can actually do a sign off while we're here on stream if you have somewhere you need to be.
Okay.
I
Love you.
appreciate you, Mom.
So I just click on the leave call.
Yeah. And we can talk about you getting a VTuber model later.
Okay. And I just want to say, can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
To anybody who donated to the Trevor Project or Stream for a Cause, or if you signed up as a subscriber to Ruby, or you like the movies and you're a fan of Freaky Friday and you're an ally and an advocate and you believe that the world is big enough for everybody and that we need to come together in love and support, then thank you for being here and participating in this fun little moment. Bye. Thanks.
Have a wonderful
Thank
month.
you so much.
Love you. Well,
Aww.
today has been a wonderful stream. We are going to be rating. We actually have someone we're going to be rating into, right?
Yes, we do. I just sent it to you. And just a heads up, chat, everyone watching right now, thank you again so much. Thank you for supporting my boss, Ruby, here. And she is going to be doing a lot this month. It is not just today. She has another stream on Friday with Miss Curtis. We have even more guests coming on then. She also has many collabs going on through the week. We've got a few of those VTubers you saw in there, actually,
Heck
will
yeah.
be between this and next week. We will be doing collabs with, having some fun with.
I think
A
all
lot
of
of
the VTubers we had there are in this tier list.
Every VTuber we're collabing with in the next 2 weeks is in that tier list. And then at the end of the month, we will also be opening SFAC's VTuber showcase for Pride Month on the 22nd, I believe. It's the Sunday. Yeah, no, we've got a whole bunch in store. For anyone who wants to keep up, you can check out Ruby's socials. She posts that schedule in Discord as well as Twitter, Blue Sky. You can stop by any of those. We get those posted out each week.
Absolutely. And you'll get plenty more of... Thank you, Ancient. There are plenty more of events coming throughout the year as well. We actually have a fighting game tournament we're planning in November, and we're going to have tons of fun this year. I promise you all. But till next time, have a wonderful night. Bye, travelers. Safe travels.